Hi there, welcome to Up Close and Personal here on KOOL97FM. I am Yashika Graham, and today I have the absolute pleasure of speaking with KOOL personality Sabrina Neil. You will recognize Sabrina from KOOL Overdrive on a Saturday afternoon, as well as other episodes on KOOL TV. Today though, we're going to be learning even more about this very cool personality. So let's jump right into it. One of the most striking things about you, for me, the first time I met you, you had this very bubbly, very pleasant, positive personality. Yeah. I wanted to find out, what is it about that positive energy for you in moving through the world? How does that guide you?
Well, you know, positive energy, from my experience, positive energy gives positive energy. I come to you, I give you positive energy, and you return it, right. And then we have more positive energy. Mm-hmm. So it's very important, because it's pretty much seeing the glass half full, thinking positive, you know, embracing all of those wonderful positive things from the universe. And I think that having that frame of mind is what is really important. If you walk around with negative energy, then you attract. I mean, just think about it. I'm having a bad day and I come to you, and then you get upset. Yeah. You know, that doesn't help anybody. So if I share that contagious positive energy,
it's a circle. It comes
right back to you.
Right. Okay.
Life is too short.
Yeah. So tell us, where did you grow up? Are you a country woman, a Kingston woman? Where did Sabrina Neil grow up?
I spent the first 10 years of my life in Kingston. Then my parents bought land in Upper St. Andrew. Then I hated the country as a teenager. Oh dear. But then going on my own as an adult, I started missing it again. And so I'm back in the country.
Okay. We're going to talk a little bit about that in a few, but I wanted to find out as well if you grew up with siblings.
Yes.
What was that like?
Oh boy. 3 sisters at first. I'm actually smack in the middle of 5. 4 girls, 1 boy. He's the last child. So of course I was the spoiled one up to maybe 9.
Okay.
Yeah, man, because I'm the 3rd one, and then my little sister came, so I started spoiling her at 9, and then my brother after that. And you know, it's like almost like 2 generations in a sense. Yeah, so I'm like the pacifier. I'm always trying to bring the 2 groups together. I always find myself in that situation. But it's fun. It's fun being the middle one, because you have the older ones, the ones that are older than me, you know, I'm a part of them, and then the younger ones, they're always, you know, if they can't get through to the older ones, they would go through me in a sense. Yes.
That is interesting.
Yeah, it happens a lot. It happens a lot.
Okay. So for me, my understanding of siblings is like your own little crew that you have. Something else that I learned about you is that you speak not only patois and English, but you also speak Spanish. But your learning Spanish came in a big way from your siblings. Tell us a little bit about how you started learning Spanish.
My sisters and I, we used to go through the Spanish dictionary, and we used to think that we're speaking Spanish, you know, word for word. It was so much fun, and it's so funny. My sister, who's 3 years my senior, we're going to the same primary school, and one day, she came in my class, and she was like, she just rolled out her tongue and started to talk one bag of gibberish. So I was like, okay, what nonsense is this? But I was in 6th grade, so I just looked at her and I said, see? And I went in my bag and I took up a book and I gave it to her, and she started teaching the class, because there was no teacher around, and she was senior. And everybody was like, I got to talk Spanish. And then it came back to haunt me. The first Spanish class I had in high school, here comes the teacher. Is there anybody here who knows Spanish? One boy jumps up. She and her sister talk Spanish. Good.
And give you away.
Give me away. Girl, I mean, pretty much what that did for me is I could not let down the teacher. I could not let down the class. I could not let myself down. So I was on a roll to learn Spanish and learn it properly. So it has always been it has become a part of me. You know, I'm not afraid to strike up a conversation with some Spanish native, because that's how I learn, pretty much. I spent some time at the Venezuelan Institute as well, but it's just work in progress.
How has it translated in your work, in your professional work? Have you used it
a lot
throughout?
A lot. I've had jobs where I had to travel to the Dominican Republic, to Puerto Rico, Cuba, and it has helped a lot.
Okay. So again, we're going to the geography. You've lived in Kingston, you lived in more rural St. Andrew, and now you are more middle of the country kind of vibe. Similar, very similar to being the middle child. So
You're going back to that middle thing again.
Yes. So what I want to know is, what is it like for you? A lot of people, their day-to-day moving around is, I live in Kingston, I work in Kingston. It's a very, I want to say, a narrow journey that they have to undertake. As someone working in sales and having to travel the country, what is it like for you navigating and connecting with people in different, very different places?
It's awesome. You see, working with KOOL, what you must remember is KOOL is known, KOOL is listened island-wide, the diaspora, all over the world. And they see the logo and they get excited. Whether or not they know my face and they recognize that I'm an announcer, they assume that I'm an announcer. So doors are open, people get excited, people are happy to see you. And I'm very receptive. I'm very receptive. Being in the middle of the island, no. At first it was kind of hard, you know, traveling to Kingston, back and forth. But then when I decided, you know, I'm going to do sales, I'm going to sell for the station, I can get anywhere quickly. Yeah. Being in the center.
You're already on your way.
I'm on my way. I'm on my way. You know, so it's, instead of leaving Kingston, for example, to go to Montego Bay, you know, which would have to be an overnight trip most of the time. Yes, it is an overnight trip, no, still, but it's more accessible. Savla Mar, Santa Cruz, those places are more accessible. Kingston is more accessible. So it's, and you know, because of my love for art, I pull over a lot of times and I take photos, sunsets, sunrises. It's just awesome. Okay. The exhaust from the vehicles, I don't miss that. I don't miss that at all from Kingston. Yeah, okay. It's good, fresh air.
Nice. So you are both announcer and sales agent. These are two very distinct roles, but they also have some things that are interconnected. You have spoken a lot about the importance of people and how you enjoy sales, and you've studied marketing and that kind of thing. What do you think is the central thing you're able to achieve and that you enjoy achieving inside of those roles, and where do you see yourself going from here?
It's interesting that you brought that question up. I see myself going into advertising, full-fledged advertising, and being in media is very, very critical. Hence, I maintain the on-air presence. Apart from, you know, it was just a hobby when I started doing gigs, as in emceeing gigs. So being on air became something that was expected of me. But then sales, this is what I studied, this is what I majored in. And to me, it's like working and I'm not working. So I'm getting a lot of experience. I'm helping persons to find solutions to build their businesses. I'm on air, so you know, being able to send a shout out every now and then, it helps. You know, it helps tremendously. So having both of them, being in both areas, it's a big plus for me for my career goals, my ultimate career goal. Okay.
I am wondering, to me, it makes a lot of sense that you have ended up in this place, given the journey that you've gone on, you know. You do strike me as the kind of person that would be in marketing, would be, you know, engaging with people. I wondered if there was a particular moment that you made that decision or knew that this was where you were headed, or a moment when the door opened and you saw it and you're like, wow, I can do that. Did you have a moment like that?
You know, if I tell you where I'm coming from, coming up in high school, I've always wanted to be an artist. I loved painting, as I said before. But then I didn't, knowing the artist that I was exposed to then, I didn't see the lifestyles as, you know, it wasn't very attractive to me. So I said, geez, I'm going to starve. I'm an artist. So I said, no, this can't work. This can't work. So I decided, you know what, before I, you know, pressure my parents to spend college fees and I'm not sure what I want to do, let me go and get a job. And I ended up being a paralegal clerk.
Right.
Oh my goodness, I worked with this wonderful lawyer. But I remember being there for a year. I was really warm with our clients and everything. But somehow I just wasn't getting it for whatever reason. You know, she was patient with me and stuff, but you know, I was learning. But she fired me one day. She fired me. After staying home for a week, and I called her because I still wasn't sure why she fired me. After staying home for a week, and I said, all right, I can't stay here now, I need to go and earn. I called her and I told her I wanted a recommendation. I told her I wanted to go and work for another lawyer. She said, Miss Neil, I can't let you do that. I was like, what did I do? She said, come on, let's talk, come on, let's talk. Long and short of the story, she sent me directly into tourism because she says, your personality is not for this field. Because I even signed up to do a paralegal course so I could be better at my job. And she said, no, I cannot allow you to do that. You're wasting your life. You belong in tourism and hospitality. And she sent me straight because she had good connections. And the following week, I started working at a prominent hotel in Kingston. And I spent 4 years there on the front desk. Oh my goodness, it was a walk in the park. This is where I realized my strength and I decided, I'm going to study marketing because I like dealing with people. I did not pick that up before, but it boosted my confidence. I was good. I was very good with people. And here I am.
Wow.
And of course, my experience, my hobbies involved emceeing, like karaoke and stuff like that. I had a lot of fun doing that and earning from it. And I decided to get voice training and ended up in radio. So everything just came together. So, yeah. I had no idea.
I'm fascinated by the whole, what looks like disappointment turning into something that was central in your direction. How something can look a certain way, but you investigated. It showed that you wanted to learn, you wanted to understand what happened.
Because what happened is, no, a lot of young people, you get fired, they take it personal. You know, it's not a bad thing. You know, it's not always a bad thing. Maybe when one door closes, another a better one opens up. It's your attitude that determines your latitude. Pretty much. No, if I took it personal and I had a bad attitude and said, she can't go on, that where would that have led me? Perhaps I would still be searching today. So humility is very important.
Absolutely. No, that is just a prime example of being humble and being willing to learn. Yeah, absolutely, because that has directed your life. Journeys have been coming up in our conversation this whole time, and one particular journey, and this is going to be my final question, I promise. So as an announcer, and in general, when we're on a journey, sometimes the beginning of the journey really sticks with us. And I'm curious, and this is going to be my final question, I promise. What was your very first time on air like as an announcer? You opened that mic, you sat in the seat. What was Sabrina's mind saying, heart doing? What was going on?
You know, people think that it's not the easiest thing, you know, when you hear persons on air and you sound smooth and everything. I worked with 2 other radio stations before, but then finally coming to KOOL, where I wanted to be, it was a big thing for me. And the day they let me go in that studio and the microphone opened, have you ever seen a bouncing ball all over the place? My heart was up here, down there. It was hitting all over my body. It was I was tearing up inside. And it came out in my voice. When I'm nervous, it comes out in my voice. Like my voice is shaking, but my heart was like palpitating. Yeah. And it took a while. It took a while because I think it was like, because we have 8 inserts, and it was about the 5th or 6th insert before I calmed down.
Oh, wow.
And you know, it was good. But for me, I put a lot of pressure on myself when I think something is really, really important, because I really want to do good at it. And that's where the nerves came. Yeah. So after a while, you know, I learned to be comfortable in my environment and around my coworkers, and it went away eventually.
Okay. And you have said, I know I'm stepping over into the extra question. You worked as an MC and in entertainment before. What, if anything, do you note are the differences between that and being an announcer?
They can't see my smile. They can't see my smile on air, so I have to make them see the smile on air. When you know, when I'm bringing the vibe and the excitement and the warmth and everything, when I'm in front of the people, they respond.
You have to do that without visuals on air.
You have to do that without visuals on air. So it's very important that if I'm having a bad day, I leave it behind. And again, it comes back to positive energy.
Right.
You know, I have to give myself a talk. Sabrina, you're positive today. You know, right outside of the studio. And I talk to myself, how are you feeling today? And I answer, I'm feeling fine. No, you're not feeling fine. No, I'm not feeling fine. And then I start talking to myself and, you know, get it all out.
With that energy.
Yeah, talk and I answer myself, and then I'm good.
Okay, okay. That makes sense. You're like jazzing yourself up.
But please don't call Agri Irons. Don't tell them I said that.
Wow. Well, thank you so much, Sabrina. It's been an absolute pleasure talking to you today. I feel like I learned so much, and the central thing, the journey, how important the journey is. Very. And like I was saying earlier, it's kind of like your journey has led you back to yourself in a big way.
I like that. Yeah. I like that.
Yeah. So thank you for talking to me. We also want to thank you, our viewers and our listeners, for always keeping it cool, keeping it locked to the nation's coolest. You can catch Sabrina Neil every Saturday on KOOL Overdrive, 1 to 5 p.m. And you can catch us here again on Up Close and Personal next time. I'm Yashika Graham. Thank you so much for watching.